On the cold evening of December 7, 1981, the quiet residents of Hessdalen Valley in Norway experienced something so bizarre, so inexplicable, it would forever change the way the world looked at this remote corner of the earth. As darkness blanketed the valley, dozens of people looked up and saw glowing orbs, sometimes large, sometimes small, hovering silently above the landscape. The lights didn't behave like any known aircraft or natural phenomenon. They pulsed with colors ranging from bright white to deep red, sometimes shifting rapidly and moving with an intelligence that defied explanation. Eyewitnesses reported these mysterious lights for hours, with many feeling a strange mix of awe and terror. For some, it was like watching the sky come alive. For others, it was a chilling reminder that the world holds secrets far beyond our understanding. One local farmer described the experience vividly. It was as if the valley was breathing. These balls of light just floated above my fields, lighting up everything below like daylight, but without a sound. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was unreal. Across town, a family watched in stunned silence as the lights danced erratically, disappearing suddenly, and then reappearing in another part of the sky. Their youngest child whispered, "Mom, are aliens coming?" The question lingered unanswered, but it captured the imagination of many who witnessed the phenomenon. News of these strange lights quickly spread beyond the valley, attracting the attention of scientists, journalists, and UFO enthusiasts. Reports began pouring in, describing the lights in astonishing detail. Some said they moved too fast for any human technology. Others swore they saw beams of light shooting down from the orbs toward the ground. Skeptics argued it was just atmospheric illusions or reflections, but even the most rational minds struggled to dismiss the growing number of reports coming from different witnesses over many nights. The Hessdalen lights has since become one of the most enduring mysteries in the world of unexplained phenomena. Scientists have deployed sensitive instruments, set up automatic observation stations, and collected mountains of data, all in an attempt to decode what lies behind these enigmatic lights. Yet, after decades of study, no conclusive explanation has emerged. Some researchers suggest natural causes, like electrical discharges in the atmosphere or the combustion of underground gases. Others hint at something far more extraordinary, perhaps even extraterrestrial. The debate rages on, fueled by new sightings that continue to baffle and inspire. For those who live in Hessdalen, the lights are more than just a curiosity. They're a part of life. Some view them as a cosmic mystery that connects them to the vast universe. Others feel a deep unease, as if the lights are a silent warning from an unknown world. One local teenager summed it up best. "You don't just see the lights, you feel them. It's like the sky is trying to tell us something, but we're not ready to listen." The Hessdalen lights challenge everything we think we know about reality. They push us to question, to wonder, and to face the possibility that there are forces at work far beyond our control or comprehension. They draw us into a story of mystery, suspense, and discovery that refuses to fade, even decades after the first sighting. If this story has captured your imagination, if you want to explore more mysteries that blur the lines between science and the supernatural, then don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel. Stay connected with us, because the journey into the unknown has only just begun, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. On the evening of December 7, 1981, the quiet and peaceful Hessdalen Valley in Norway was about to witness something utterly astonishing, something that would ripple through the community and capture the attention of the world for decades to come. The night had settled like any other, cold and calm, the kind of stillness where the stars shine with unfiltered brilliance, and the silence feels almost tangible. But then, out of nowhere, strange lights began to appear, piercing through the darkness like ghostly flames. These were no ordinary lights. They didn't behave like airplanes or helicopters, nor were they stars or any familiar celestial bodies. Instead, they glowed with an unearthly radiance, shifting colors and hovering silently above the rugged landscape. People who saw the lights that night would never forget the way they moved. They didn't drift with the wind or follow any predictable path. Instead, the glowing orbs seemed to have a life of their own, pausing, darting, and pulsating as if guided by an unseen intelligence. The colors changed from bright white to fiery orange, sometimes casting eerie glows over the snowy fields and forests below. The light's silent presence filled the air with an uncanny feeling, an electrifying mix of fear and wonder that gripped everyone who witnessed them. Imagine standing outside your home, watching the sky suddenly come alive with these glowing balls of light, so vivid and close that they almost seemed touchable, yet impossible to understand. The silence was almost louder than the lights themselves, a quiet that felt charged with anticipation. Many described a sensation that went beyond mere sight. It was as if the valley itself was holding its breath, waiting for something beyond human comprehension. The light seemed not just to exist, but to communicate in a way that words could never capture. Those first sightings didn't just spark curiosity, they ignited a firestorm of questions. What were these lights? Where did they come from? Why here, in this quiet corner of Norway? Residents whispered theories, some hopeful, some terrified. Some wondered if the lights were a natural but unknown atmospheric phenomenon, while others feared something far more alien, something from beyond the stars. For those few hours, the entire valley was united by a shared mystery that none could explain and none would forget. News of the light spread quickly beyond Hessdalen, drawing scientists and enthusiasts from across the globe, each eager to uncover the truth. But the lights refused to be tamed by explanation or captured by technology. Despite careful observation, they remained elusive, defying every attempt to pin down their nature. The experience on that December night marked the beginning of a saga steeped in mystery, an ongoing enigma that continues to challenge logic, science, and imagination alike. That first night in 1981 was not just an event, it was a turning point, a moment when the ordinary world peeled back to reveal something extraordinary, a phenomenon that still haunts the skies over Hessdalen and the minds of those who dare to look up and wonder. The people of Hessdalen Valley didn't just witness the strange lights, they felt something deeper, something almost alive in the way those glowing orbs moved. From the very first sightings, it was clear these weren't random flashes or simple lights in the sky. The way the orbs hovered, darted, and shifted with such apparent purpose left witnesses both mesmerized and unsettled. Locals often described the movements as intelligent, as if the lights themselves were aware of the observers below, watching back, responding to their presence. Imagine standing outside on a cold night, your breath visible in the crisp air, eyes fixed on these bright spheres that suddenly appear, not drifting like a balloon or flickering like a distant star, but moving with an almost deliberate grace. They pause, as if to study the world beneath them, then suddenly surge forward with unexpected speed, weaving through the sky in patterns that defy explanation. Sometimes they split into multiple lights, only to reunite moments later, as though performing an intricate dance meant for no audience but themselves. It's a spectacle so surreal, it blurs the lines between reality and something more mysterious. Witnesses often recall a profound feeling that accompanied these movements, a mix of awe, curiosity, and an almost primal fear. One resident said it was like watching something alive, something not meant for us to understand, yet impossible to ignore. The lights seemed to communicate in their own silent language, a flicker here, a pause there, as if teasing or inviting those who dared to watch. Children who saw the lights spoke of them in whispered tones, sometimes asking if the lights were friends or something to be afraid of. The adults, meanwhile, wrestled with the discomfort of experiencing something so beautiful yet so inexplicable. What made the movement of these lights even more perplexing was how they defied every known law of physics. They could hover motionless for minutes, then accelerate with sudden bursts of speed that no conventional aircraft could match. Their ability to appear and vanish without a trace left people questioning what they had truly seen. Was it a trick of the eye, some rare atmospheric phenomenon, or something far beyond human knowledge? The uncertainty only deepened the mystery and fueled countless stories and theories, each more captivating than the last. For the people of Hessdalen, the lights became more than just strange sightings. They became a haunting presence woven into the fabric of their everyday lives. On some nights, when the sky was clear, the valley would light up with these eerie orbs, and the entire community would pause, eyes searching the darkness for that familiar glow. The anticipation was electric, a mix of hope that the lights would return and fear of what they might mean. Families gathered outside, strangers bonded over shared wonder, and skeptics found themselves unable to dismiss the experience. These movements, so seemingly intelligent and alive, left an indelible mark on the valley's history. The lights weren't just mysterious, they felt purposeful. They challenged the people watching to reconsider what they believed about the world, about what was possible. And as the lights danced silently in the cold night sky, one thing was certain: they were watching us back. The lights that appeared over Hessdalen Valley didn't just flicker quietly in the distance. They lit up entire fields, trees, and houses with a glow so vivid it felt like daylight had suddenly descended in the dead of night. Witnesses often describe moments when the orbs pulsed with such intensity that shadows were cast across the snow-covered ground, illuminating everything below with an eerie, almost surreal brightness. It was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. These lights weren't mere points in the sky, they were radiant beacons that seemed to reach out and touch the earth itself. Imagine standing outside in the cold Norwegian night, watching one of these glowing spheres slowly descend, growing larger and brighter as it approaches. The air feels charged, heavy with anticipation. Then, without a sound, the light spreads across the landscape, bathing the trees, rocks, and buildings in an unearthly glow that feels both mesmerizing and unsettling. It's as if the night itself has been transformed, and the valley has become a stage for something truly extraordinary. People who experienced this have said it was both beautiful and deeply unnerving, a moment when the familiar world shifted into something altogether different. What makes this illumination even more baffling is the utter silence that accompanies it. These lights don't hum or buzz. There's no engine noise or mechanical sound to explain their presence. Just the profound stillness of the night, broken only by the soft footsteps of those standing outside, watching in stunned silence. The combination of bright, intense light with complete silence creates an almost hypnotic effect, drawing witnesses into a trance-like state where time seems to slow down, and the mystery of the lights grows ever deeper. The intensity of the lights has led many to question what kind of energy or force could produce such brightness without any visible source. Scientists have tried to explain this phenomenon through natural causes, but the power and suddenness of the illumination remain difficult to replicate or understand. The way these orbs can brighten and fade, sometimes lighting up the entire valley and then disappearing as quickly as they came, only adds to the feeling that they exist outside normal experience. Locals have shared stories of the light shining so brightly that animals stopped and stared, and people felt an almost physical sensation of warmth or tingling in the air. Some have even reported a strange silence falling over the valley, as if the world itself was holding its breath, waiting for something unknown to happen. This surreal light show has become a defining feature of the Hessdalen mystery, a haunting reminder that what we see with our eyes is only part of the story. The sheer brilliance of these lights forces us to reconsider what we think we know about the natural world. They don't just appear, they command attention, transforming the night and stirring emotions that range from awe to deep unease. It's a reminder that even in our most familiar places, the universe can surprise us in ways that are as beautiful as they are inexplicable. The lights over Hessdalen don't simply illuminate the night. They illuminate the questions that keep us searching, wondering, and yearning for answers beyond what we can see. The people who witnessed the mysterious lights over Hessdalen Valley didn't just see a strange spectacle. They experienced a rush of emotion so powerful, it's impossible to forget. There was awe, the kind that makes your heart stop for a moment as you realize you're witnessing something extraordinary. There was fear too, the kind that creeps in when the unknown stares back at you silently, and you're left questioning everything you thought was certain. This wasn't just a fleeting light show. It was a deeply emotional encounter that touched something primal inside everyone who looked up that night. Imagine standing in the biting cold of a Norwegian winter, the sky suddenly alive with glowing orbs that move with an uncanny intelligence. Your breath clouds in the air, but your attention is fixed entirely on these strange lights. At first, there's disbelief. You wonder if your eyes are playing tricks on you. But as the orbs shift and pulse, their brightness illuminating the valley below, disbelief gives way to a shiver of both excitement and dread. You feel tiny beneath this silent, otherworldly display, a fragile human caught between wonder and fear. Some witnesses described an overwhelming sense of connection, as if the lights were reaching out across the vast emptiness, trying to communicate something beyond words. Others spoke of a chilling loneliness, the feeling that these lights belonged to a world completely separate from ours, observing us silently yet never truly part of our reality. It's a strange, unsettling mix. A sense of beauty wrapped in mystery, hope wrapped in fear. For children who saw the lights, the experience was often magical and haunting at the same time. Some asked their parents if the lights were friends or strangers from the stars. Adults, meanwhile, wrestled with the weight of what they'd seen. Was it a natural phenomenon? A secret military experiment? Or something far more extraordinary? Something from beyond our world? These questions lingered long after the lights vanished, haunting conversations and dreams alike. The emotional impact of these lights goes beyond simple curiosity. It challenges how we see ourselves in the universe, reminding us that there are forces and mysteries far greater than we can comprehend. For the residents of Hessdalen, the lights became a part of their lives, a constant source of wonder and sometimes anxiety. On clear nights, people would gather outside, hoping to catch a glimpse, their hearts pounding with a mix of excitement and fear. The anticipation was almost electric, a silent bond shared among strangers drawn together by this inexplicable phenomenon. What makes this emotional experience even more profound is the silence that accompanies the lights. There's no roar, no crackle, just an eerie calm that fills the air. That silence feels heavy, charged with meaning, as if the lights themselves are aware of the humans below, watching and waiting. It's a moment suspended in time, where disbelief fades and something deeper takes hold, a humbling reminder of how little we truly know. The lights of Hessdalen don't just capture the eye, they capture the heart. They pull us into a world of mystery that stirs emotions we often keep buried: curiosity, fear, wonder, and the unshakable urge to seek the truth behind the unknown. After the initial wave of sightings in 1981, the mysterious lights over Hessdalen Valley didn't fade into forgotten folklore. They multiplied, drawing attention from far beyond this quiet Norwegian community. Night after night, reports poured in from residents, tourists, and even passing drivers who claimed to witness glowing orbs moving through the sky with impossible speed and grace. It wasn't long before word reached scientists, journalists, and enthusiasts from all corners of the world, turning Hessdalen into a magnet for anyone drawn to the unknown. The valley, once known for its serene beauty and isolation, became a buzzing hub of excitement and speculation. People traveled long distances, driven by a deep need to witness the lights for themselves, to stand beneath that cold night sky and feel the electric tension in the air. What they found was something that couldn't be explained by conventional science or simple skepticism. The lights were real, persistent, and utterly baffling. Scientists arrived with equipment, cameras, electromagnetic sensors, radiation detectors, setting up monitoring stations in hopes of capturing definitive proof. Each sighting was meticulously recorded, every flicker analyzed. But despite the influx of technology and expertise, the lights remained elusive and unpredictable. They would appear without warning, sometimes hovering silently for minutes, then accelerating at impossible speeds or vanishing altogether in an instant. Every time researchers thought they were close to an answer, the lights would defy expectations, slipping through the grasp of understanding. Skeptics argued that the phenomenon could be explained away by natural causes, atmospheric gases, electrical discharges, or optical illusions. But even these scientific explanations couldn't fully account for the light's complex behavior and consistency over time. The more the experts studied, the deeper the mystery seemed to grow. For many, Hessdalen became a place where science met the supernatural, where logic struggled against the inexplicable. The global fascination brought with it a wave of media attention, documentaries, and investigations that fueled the fire of public intrigue. Stories of the Hessdalen lights spread across newspapers and television screens, inspiring a mix of wonder and skepticism. People debated endlessly. Were these lights a natural phenomenon, a secret military experiment, or signs of something extraterrestrial? The questions only deepened the suspense, leaving minds racing and hearts pounding. For the locals, the sudden influx of visitors brought mixed feelings. Some welcomed the attention, eager to share their stories and be part of something larger than their small community. Others felt wary, protective of the valley's quiet mysteries, and uneasy about the unknown forces seemingly watching over their homes. The lights, once a rare curiosity, had become an inescapable part of life in Hessdalen, an ongoing puzzle that touched every conversation, every dark night. What began as a few strange lights in 1981 turned into a decades-long quest for answers, drawing humanity into a story filled with suspense, wonder, and profound mystery. No matter how hard people tried to explain, the Hessdalen lights refused to be tamed, reminding us that some secrets are meant to challenge our understanding and ignite the imagination. The world may never fully understand the Hessdalen lights, but their allure continues to captivate those who dare to look up and wonder what else might be out there. As the strange lights over Hessdalen Valley continued to appear night after night, scientists were drawn into the mystery, determined to find answers. They brought with them a range of sophisticated instruments, electromagnetic sensors, radiation detectors, spectrometers, all designed to capture data and decode the secrets behind the glowing orbs. The goal was clear: to understand whether these lights were a natural phenomenon or something far more extraordinary. But the more data they collected, the more perplexing the mystery became. Scientists detected unusual electromagnetic activity coinciding precisely with the appearance of the lights. Devices picked up bursts of energy that fluctuated wildly, sometimes pulsating in sync with the glow, sometimes seeming to ripple through the valley like invisible waves. These readings baffled researchers because they didn't fit any known natural patterns. Some suggested the lights might be plasma formations caused by charged particles in the atmosphere, while others thought underground minerals interacting with the Earth's magnetic field could be responsible. But no theory fully explained the complex behavior and intensity of the phenomena. What made the scientific investigation so compelling and frustrating was the lights' unpredictability. They would suddenly appear, stay visible for varying lengths of time, and then vanish without warning. Sometimes multiple lights would dance in formation, other times a single orb would hover silently. This erratic behavior made it almost impossible to plan precise measurements or capture clear evidence. Cameras and sensors sometimes recorded nothing, despite eyewitness accounts saying otherwise, fueling both skepticism and fascination. Researchers also noticed strange readings of radiation around the times and locations where the lights appeared. This added a layer of urgency and mystery, suggesting there might be powerful forces at work beneath the serene surface of the valley. Yet, even with these hints, no conclusive link was found between the radiation and the light phenomenon. It was as if the lights existed on the edge of human perception, visible, measurable, yet stubbornly elusive. The Hessdalen lights defied easy classification. They didn't behave like traditional weather phenomena, nor did they fit the patterns of known electrical or geological activity. This left scientists in a unique position, caught between curiosity and doubt, driven by the data yet humbled by the unanswered questions. It was a puzzle that refused to be solved, a reminder that nature, or something beyond nature, can still surprise us. For many involved, the investigation became more than a scientific mission. It became a deeply personal journey. The lights challenged their understanding of reality, urging them to consider possibilities they might once have dismissed. Were these mere atmospheric tricks, or signs of something intelligent, something watching? The tension between skepticism and wonder hung in the air, thick as the cold mountain fog. Despite decades of research, the Hessdalen lights remain one of the most baffling mysteries on Earth. The scientific community continues to study them, hoping that one day technology and insight will finally unlock their secret. Until then, these glowing orbs continue to haunt the valley skies, silent, powerful, and unknowable. The lights remind us that even in an age of science, some mysteries refuse to be explained, urging us to keep looking up and never stop questioning. As the strange lights over Hessdalen Valley continued to appear night after night, scientists were drawn into the mystery, determined to find answers. They brought with them a range of sophisticated instruments, electromagnetic sensors, radiation detectors, spectrometers, all designed to capture data and decode the secrets behind the glowing orbs. The goal was clear: to understand whether these lights were a natural phenomenon or something far more extraordinary. But the more data they collected, the more perplexing the mystery became. Scientists detected unusual electromagnetic activity coinciding precisely with the appearance of the lights. Devices picked up bursts of energy that fluctuated wildly, sometimes pulsating in sync with the glow, sometimes seeming to ripple through the valley like invisible waves. These readings baffled researchers because they didn't fit any known natural patterns. Some suggested the lights might be plasma formations caused by charged particles in the atmosphere, while others thought underground minerals interacting with the Earth's magnetic field could be responsible. But no theory fully explained the complex behavior and intensity of the phenomena. What made the scientific investigation so compelling and frustrating was the lights' unpredictability. They would suddenly appear, stay visible for varying lengths of time, and then vanish without warning. Sometimes multiple lights would dance in formation, other times a single orb would hover silently. This erratic behavior made it almost impossible to plan precise measurements or capture clear evidence. Cameras and sensors sometimes recorded nothing, despite eyewitness accounts saying otherwise, fueling both skepticism and fascination. Researchers also noticed strange readings of radiation around the times and locations where the lights appeared. This added a layer of urgency and mystery, suggesting there might be powerful forces at work beneath the serene surface of the valley. Yet, even with these hints, no conclusive link was found between the radiation and the light phenomenon. It was as if the lights existed on the edge of human perception, visible, measurable, yet stubbornly elusive. The Hessdalen lights defied easy classification. They didn't behave like traditional weather phenomena, nor did they fit the patterns of known electrical or geological activity. This left scientists in a unique position, caught between curiosity and doubt, driven by the data yet humbled by the unanswered questions. It was a puzzle that refused to be solved, a reminder that nature, or something beyond nature, can still surprise us. For many involved, the investigation became more than a scientific mission. It became a deeply personal journey. The lights challenge their understanding of reality, urging them to consider possibilities they might once have dismissed. Were these mere atmospheric tricks? Or signs of something intelligent, something watching? The tension between skepticism and wonder hung in the air, thick as the cold mountain fog. Despite decades of research, the Hessdalen lights remain one of the most baffling mysteries on Earth. The scientific community continues to study them, hoping that one day technology and insight will finally unlock their secret. Until then, these glowing orbs continue to haunt the valley's skies, silent, powerful, and unknowable. The lights remind us that even in an age of science, some mysteries refuse to be explained, urging us to keep looking up and never stop questioning. The Hessdalen phenomenon stands as a timeless enigma, a beacon of the unknown that calls us to embrace wonder alongside reason.